Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the 3R race, 3 laps of the Volcano Flat route. The name kind of says it all. I knew that much. There's very little elevation gain throughout the whole thing. Maybe a couple risers, no real hills, as the name does imply. So I got my aero set up. I am riding the Uranium Nuclear with the Zip 808. Again, this is my most aero setup that I have in my garage at my disposal. So that's the weapon of choice for this race. Now, I did not realize there was going to be a mass start, A, B, C, and D right out of the gate. Had I known that, I would have pushed that much harder at the beginning, but it does clump up right here. So I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like we're all together right here, or the main group. This is it right here. I'm in that top 100. You'll notice my position is off the back a little bit, and I'll be honest, that is actually intentional. I've been watching this other YouTuber, Jake Sanderson, stud of an athlete. He does this thing where he's off the back just like this, and he conserves so much energy, it's ridiculous. However, I am not him. I'm not the stud athlete that he is, and up that little riser coming out of that tunnel thing where we're underwater, I don't know what the heck these things are called, it just gets super strung out, and I'm not with the group. So that's kind of the bad part, just poor execution on my part. But it's something throughout the race that you'll see over and over and over again, is me slightly off the back, conserving a ton of energy. And the main reason for that is because this is my first time even on the bike in close to 2 weeks, probably a good 10 days. I was out of town for 6 days, wasn't on the bike for a couple days leading up to that. And then when I finally got back into town, I was pretty sick. And then in addition to that, I had some obligations with work. Maybe you saw my last video that I posted. I preached the sermon, so I just had that on my mind. I just didn't have time to be on the bike, or wasn't feeling up to it. Even for this race, I did it on a Monday night. I just was not quite ready for it. Still a little under the weather, and actually my heart rate, you see my heart rate monitor is not quite synced up for some reason. My whoop strap's not quite there. It's in and out the entire time. So every time it was flashing up on the screen where I could see it next to the watts, I mean, my heart rate is just so high. Because I'm sick, it's like my heart rate was very sensitive, for lack of a better word. So it's pretty high. But I do the best that I can. I try to mimic his tactics. So again, right here, I'm a little more off the back, and I'm at 150 to 200 watts. And there's a couple times where I surge, I go up to 220, 230 watts. Nothing crazy, only for a short bit. I mean, even through the heart rate's mess down at the bottom, it's a lot of the like zone 2 and below, maybe a little bit above into the green portion, but overall, pretty good. Again, going up a hill, put more of an effort in to stay with everybody. But that was my strategy going into this. Again, being under the weather, being just well out of practice, and a flat route. I know it's going to be fast, and I'm in the B category now. Like I can't go back to C. Maybe on some of these I could, but some of these with the category enforcement, I can't go back. So I have to make do with what I got, and that's fight for my life, be in total survival mode, and that's going to be conserve. Yeah, sure, riding the most aero setup I have for the flat route, yeah, that's going to help a little bit, but, when you're still under the weather, you're still, like, breathing some gunk, and, your heart rate's all over the place. Well, there's only so much you can do, so that's my strategy, conserve. And comes to a point right here, or coming up to it, I'm off the back a little bit, and then it's a little more off the back than okay, not right here. I'm talking at the wrong part. We're gonna skip ahead a little bit here. That was all of lap 1. It's late in lap 2. I'm kind of off the back doing the strategy, coming into the final portion here of lap 2. And I'm like, oh shoot, they're a little further up ahead, so I kind of put my head down, throw down some watts. My cleat slips off the pedal. I don't know how it happened. I kind of check around, make sure like everything's intact here. And I go through this arch, get the power up. I look up, dude, they have 4 seconds on me. The group has 4 seconds on me. So I kind of think to myself, okay, I'm not feeling good. How badly do I want to be with the group? And do I want to actually put in the work that it takes? And I say yes. We make this turn, slight downhill portion. I use the aero boost, and for probably a minute or two, I just did some heavy pedaling. And by the time I get to them, and I do get to them, heart rate 191, 192 beats per minute. Like, dude, talk about burning a match especially with like such a sensitive heart rate like that. Oh my word. So I was stoked that I did it, but on top of that, I still have a full another lap to go. So here we are at the last 2 miles or so, coming up the volcano, around the volcano. I'm in with the group. I'm not risking it anymore at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do what I know. Conserved as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna have to really fight in the group for the last lap here, but my watch is still pretty under control. This is sped up 4 times, so it's kind of hard to see. And I removed the power from the bottom of the screen because the heart rate thing was driving me absolutely nuts. But we're going into the last mile. I'm with the group, so we're really gonna fight for 80th place here or whatever. But on top of that, as you can see, it's like all category C guys. Again, I have to race B, so this is what we got. This is what it is. The pace starts to really jump up coming into the final 0.3 miles, and it's so strung out. I have such high power for as long as I can, but I'm also nervous that my foot's gonna come flying off. So across the line, Zwift power, 32nd place, 55 minutes. Nothing special, but I'm motivated going into January, so I hope to see you guys in Watopia. I will catch you in the next one.